Anything you say tags. Yeah, and it might, but it did not have the actual permissions to do so. And so I will say, from a wholeheartedly, I use and encourage V to use those tags. Definitely take them with a grain of salt, right? Because they are just some languages in the back end that are trying to understand what that sample is doing. And that's actually a really great question, because with it focusing and those phone numbers being all India-based, like I bet there's some type of, and thank you, I'll actually take that back and dig into a little bit more, but I bet you there is some type of, hey, if they're outside of a certain geographical place, don't function, or take some other action, right? Good point. Love the connection there.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for the talk.
Yeah.
Did you get an idea of the infection vector, of how those APKs were delivered to the victim?
Yeah, great question. So unfortunately, we didn't have visibility into the full chain, and that was something that kind of broke my heart. And I was scrambling before I came here, like, what data source can I find, or what can I use to try to identify that initial vector, and how they got, how do you get the APK, right? Like, how do you even get to your phone? And so ultimately, I ended up finding a Malware Bazaar link to one of the samples that were confirmed silent step, and there was a comment in that sample, and just some person off the who is familiar with the sample, I suppose, and they commented distributed via WhatsApp, and that was it. And I went back and I looked to see, like, well, who is this person? Can I try to OSINT them, identify who they were, and try to maybe reach out and see how they knew that or what they saw? And it was like it almost looked like a burner account. I can't say that it was for sure, but it almost looked like that. They had no other comments. That was it. I couldn't connect to the person. So I suspect distribution via WhatsApp, but I can't confirm that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other question?
Yeah.
Hello. Can we find the same pattern with phone calls? I see telephony, and overcharged phone number, for example.
Can we find the same pattern within telephone calls that we're saying? And
yeah.
Yeah, in these samples, it has telephony in there, and I suspect that's tied back to the SMS aspect of it. I can't give you an exact definition of why the telephony tag is there and how that equates to the functionality of the sample. But yeah, especially for that one that has the call forwarding, and that was kind of put in place at the at the provider level, so that's not something that's functionally within that device. But these samples in and of themselves weren't doing outbound phone calls, or else that we would have saw that. Like placing phone calls from that phone, right? Forwarding it is different than actually placing that call from that phone.
No more question?